Salufalava, this is Pacific Waves from RNZ Pacific. I'm Susana Swiswiki. Coming up.
The main issue that we are having is the blacklisting from Europe.
Vanuatu's controversial citizenship program remains steady despite setbacks. Also,
when we went out and we saw the ash was almost ankle high, just a very eerie feeling.
mental scars remain 4 years on from the volcanic eruption in Tonga, and
playing for Moana is part of me representing my culture back at home.
we talk to the newcomers at Moana Pasifika ahead of the Super Rugby Pacific season. Despite setbacks in recent years, Vanuatu citizenship programs are in reasonable shape, with reports of sales surging. The citizenship program sector is the biggest single revenue earner for Vanuatu's government, but issues of integrity still cast a shadow over it. Johnny Blades with this report.
In 2024, when Vanuatu became the first country to lose its European Union visa-free access over concerns about its Golden Passport scheme, there were fears it would be a huge blow to the sector. But certified agents for Vanuatu's citizenship programs say this hasn't necessarily hurt them much, as their product has other benefits and passport holders can still apply to access Europe. An approved agent, Francesca Grillo of Yawa and Associates, says Vanuatu's continued inclusion on an EU anti-money laundering blacklist hurts the country more.
The decision to stop free entry is not a major downfall for the citizenship program. I think the main issue that we are having is the blacklisting from Europe, because that is an obstacle of receiving funds in foreign currency.
The issue came to a head in September when the Commonwealth Bank of Australia, which served as the correspondent bank for the National Bank of Vanuatu, advised it would no longer facilitate transfers for certified agents in the citizenship programs. Melton Manauke of Smart Citizenship Vanuatu says this left the government in a bind over how it collects donations and fees that foreign applicants have to pay.
The National Bank is still looking for a corresponding bank to accept USD dollars. I don't know what's happening with corresponding bank, Commonwealth Bank of Australia. They blocked every currency. The US currency was the first one they blocked. And now they're no longer accepting AUD. So I think we're only accepting Japanese yen.
Francesca Grillo says this creates costly hurdles for agents and applicants alike. And Melton Manauke says there's more hesitancy in the market now around buying Vanuatu citizenship. But integrity issues aren't just creating pressure on the sector internationally. A commission of inquiry into the citizenship programs was initiated in 2024 following concerns about corrupt practices involving the sale of citizenship and misuse of the programs for personal and political gain. The inquiry report has still not been made public 8 months after it was officially handed to the government. As calls for its release continue, Jenny Ligo, the chairperson of Women Against Crime and Corruption in Vanuatu, says citizenship schemes have been misled by political interests.
That program needs to be taken out totally, because most of the projects and the programs in Vanuatu always ties in with politics and politicians. So this is all wrong. We need neutral people to run all these programs, but at the moment, nobody trusts anyone.
Francesca Grillo says the government has been taking the right steps to improve compliance with regulations and rules, including strengthening the Financial Intelligence Unit, which screens applicants.
There's a lot of effort, both from the high-level government and directorship and public servants, in trying to really follow the international advice and the newly introduced laws and doing everything properly.
And overall, the sector is doing well. According to Vanuatu's Daily Post, citizenship sale receipts made up the bulk of the $31 million in revenue in the past year, 24.3% more than what was forecast. Another agent, Norman Joseph of JG Marketing Consulting and Recruitment Agency, says interest remains strong in several foreign markets.
We have Chinese, we have Indonesians, we have Russians. You know, most of them got different, they're from different countries, but they also have passports from different countries, so they come in. For example, some might be Chinese, but they also have Mexican passport, so they applied in for Mexican passport.
Ros Stanford of designated agent Stanford Knight says the Vanuatu passport remains attractive for a variety of reasons.
So either for visa-free travel, so global mobility is one option. For those that actually physically want to reside there, tax benefits. And then we have a lot of clients currently who just want a safe, like a plan B, a safe alternative residence in case things turn to custard globally.
So are you seeing a bit more of that then?
Yeah, we've seen that pretty much for the last couple of years.
Even without visa-free access to Europe, and despite the concerns of Ni Vanuatu about its commodification, Vanuatu citizenship is in demand, and agents tout it as one of the fastest citizenships to get anywhere in the world.
It's been 4 years since the devastating eruption of the Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai volcano and the tsunami that followed. 3 people lost their lives as a result of the January 15th, 2022 disaster, and major damage was caused to infrastructure and crops. However, it's the mental impacts which have scarred the local community the deepest. Moana Ahulele reports.
It is known as the day Tonga went black. Scientists have described the underwater volcano as one of the largest eruptions in recorded history, equivalent to 5 underground nuclear bombs. It was an explosion that no one who experienced it could ever forget. Business owner Liz Sullivan remembers the apocalyptic scene hours after the eruption.
When we went out and saw the ash was almost ankle high, and it was just a very eerie feeling in Tonga, you know. It was like something out of a movie. You never thought this would happen to us, but it did.
Another survivor, Luciane Kikau, and her family are just grateful to be alive. They were employees of the Whawha Island Resort. The small island, which is a 30-minute boat ride from Tonga's capital, Nuku'alofa, was destroyed by the tsunami. Mrs. Kikau remembers sitting on the beach when the tsunami hit, and her main priority was to save her then 10-year-old daughter.
They just tried to save our daughter, so she climbed up on the tree. I just used the rope to tie it around my waist when the waves start coming in.
4 years on, Mrs. Kikau admits she's still traumatised.
Just the sound. Sometimes when I heard a loud sound, I always become scared. I always remember what happened on that day. When I heard a loud sound like a thunder or any sound, which is very lovely, I always remember that volcano eruption.
Many people still carry the trauma. In the immediate aftermath, the Pasifika Medical Association sent a response team of medical professionals to Tonga. It has subsequently returned each year with support focused on addressing people's well-being. The association's CEO, Debbie Sorensen, says many people will be feeling overwhelmed by the legacy of the disaster.
And I think the anniversary brings up all sorts of feelings for people. You know, there are feelings of grief over what people have lost. There's anxiety and fear. You know, I imagine quite a lot of people will be looking at that horizon, wondering whether it's going to be another one on the same day. You know, those are quite normal feelings.
Mrs. Sorensen says it's important for those suffering trauma to seek help from the resources available, including reaching out to local mental health professionals. She says that technology has played its part in being able to extend the services that are offered, but there's no question that there needs to be more investment in wellbeing resources. As she goes about her business work in Nuku'alofa, Liz Sullivan is deeply concerned about the people around her, and she says more professional help is needed for the community.
Someone passionate, that can, a listener, you know, to help these people. They're broken. I have no idea how that's going to be fixed because I don't think some will ever be able to recover from this at all.
Cultural identity remains at the core of Super Rugby team Moana Pasifika. With players from across the region and beyond, the team is rich in its Pacific heritage. Tiana Haxton spoke to a few of their newest team members.
Tongan born and raised Tupou Afungia says joining the team fulfills a lifelong goal to represent his cultural heritage on the world stage. He moved to New Zealand to finish school and joined the rugby scene in Hawke's Bay. But even after playing in America for 3 years, he couldn't pass up the opportunity to return and join Moana Pasifika.
Coming to Moana, it wasn't a hard decision for me, especially growing up in Tonga. I've always wanted to play Super Rugby, representing my country and my culture. It's really important to me. Playing for Moana is part of me representing my culture back at home.
Afungia says their cultural identities are celebrated daily with Moana Pasifika. He says he was warmly welcomed into the team and has formed close bonds with his Pasifika brothers.
It's actually special. Playing for Moana Pasifika is a bit different. We just have that special connection with especially playing together with your Tongan brothers and your Samoan brothers. So it's a special connection that we have here.
For Jimmy Tupou, Moana Pasifika offered an opportunity to deepen connections with his heritage. Having played for 4 Super Rugby teams and following a successful stint in Japan, Tupou says this team offered something new.
Yeah, it's a bit different. I think it's been really nice for me to be able to reconnect with my culture personally as a Tongan. I've always been connected to it, but I think because it's just everywhere here in this team, I think it probably opens my eyes a little bit more. It's like, maybe there's a little bit more that I can learn about my culture, about my language, and it's just made me probably realise that something I want to pursue, just getting to know my culture a bit better.
He says cultural practices are embedded in the team's daily routine. This reminded him of values he grew up with, but drifted away from during his professional career overseas.
We have a thing called loto every morning, which is prayer. We sing a lot of hymns, and that's something that's new to me, so it's been nice to reconnect with the religious side of it. I'll be the first one to admit I haven't been to church too much, but it's something I grew up with, so it's been nice to sort of have that aspect in our team.
Meanwhile, Mamoru Harada, who hails from Japan, represents a different but equally meaningful cultural thread within the squad. Having played Super Rugby before with the Japanese Sunwolves, Harada says the experience with Moana Pasifika has been surprising.
I never danced before practice in Japan, but here, everyone has to dancing or singing and before practice. So I'm surprised that. But everyone enjoys the culture and the team culture. That's so awesome. I like it.
While the language barrier is a challenge, Harada says the team are united with one goal in mind this season.
We want to get top 6 and win the competition. That's my goal, and I'll give everything to it too.
These 3 new players are looking forward to donning the Moana Pasifika jersey when the Super Rugby season kicks off in February. Their first match is against the Fijian Drua on the 14th of February.
That's Pacific Waves for today. For all episodes, head over to rnz.co.nz/Pacific. We're also on Spotify, Apple and iHeartRadio. From myself and the RNZ Pacific team, tō whā, sui fua.